To us, Ripper is an opprobrious creature with a thirst for blood. Is he really though? In this video, we're going to explore things theoretically from Ripper's point of view. Stay tuned and let's hypothetically explore the mind of the hybrid in a way that can be translated into human understanding based on what he might have experienced. Ripper. I can see. For as long as I can remember, I could only hear and smell, but now I can see. There are bright lights around me and I have a lot of movement. I don't know what to expect, but everything is excruciatingly loud. Something grabs me and holds me up to a light. I later will realize that these are the hands of those disgusting stick creatures. They are odious because they stand fully erect on two legs. It's freaking weird. As days go by, they inject me with sharp objects and constantly pick me up. They put me in other places from which I cannot escape. I want to stretch my legs, but as soon as I take 3 steps, I hit into a barrier. Weeks go by and I've learned more about these stick creatures called humans. One of them in particular comes in every day at a certain time to make me as mad as possible. They tranquilize me, which causes everything I see to become blurry and everything I hear to become slow. The human comes in with a long pole towering over me. I feel afraid. I'm in a constant state of terror, and the only thing I can do to make it go away faster is to get as mad as I can. I lash out at the big pole and tear the soft stuff at the end to bits. While the human is jabbing me painfully in my side, the other humans on the outside of my cage are making this excruciatingly high-pitched noise. This feels like it goes on for about 2 hours. I am tired, but every time I let my guard down, the pole jabs me again into my ribs, my face, and in my mouth. I let out as fierce a roar as I can, and I attack with new vigor. The more I attack is the louder the high-pitched noise is played. I scratch at my head, willing desperately for the noise to stop. Whack! Another hit from the metal pole connects with my skull. I grab it with my claws and I pull the human quickly towards me. Asshole wasn't expecting that. I feel manic. I feel so angry that everything is suddenly funny. The movements of the humans are hilarious and I don't know why. I haven't gotten much sleep. I can feel my mind slowly fading into madness. Why are they doing this? Why won't they leave me alone? I am close to the human and I pin him down until I feel his puny shoulders crack under my weight. I feel a searing pain in my side. Electric shock. I hate those. They've been used on me before, but not with this intensity. A male human with a soft voice comes in. "Do not harm the specimen," it says, to which the others reply, "Yes, Dr. Wu." I see this Dr. Wu's face enough to become tired of it. I refuse to let the human go until the pain outweighs my fury and I back away. So more time has passed, and I am now a little taller than most humans. The torturous exercises have been bumped up a bit. Now a human is on the outside of my cage with a long pole poking in to attack me. This time it shocks me. I know it won't stop unless I participate. I can hear that high-pitched noise, and this time there's a tiny red dot. I have learned how to make the high-pitched noise and attack stop, at least for a while. Earlier on, the humans would leave me alone for what seemed like a whole day, but they would somehow fill the room with so much clamoring noise that after a while of my ears constantly having been filled with pandemonium, I think I got used to it. They would then make sudden loud noises to try and scare me. After a long time, I expected the noises. I don't understand why they found enjoyment in constantly exposing me to loud noises and yelling. I was old enough to realize after some point that they were preparing me for something. But for what? Now, back to how I learned to make the high-pitched noise and the attack stop to give me a rest. My cage is large enough to accommodate my size, but the humans can also move into different places with me inside of it. It has these things underneath that roll on top of the surface of the ground to make it appear as though I'm flying. They roll my cage into another room with a larger space. It is dark in this room, but the wonderful thing is that something is in there. They line up my cage with a threshold and then open my door. I can see that red light trained on something moving in the distance. The light goes away. I go in for the attack, and a sound so loud that it makes my head feel like it's going to explode goes off and I curl up on the floor in agony. It's the loudest sound I've ever heard in all my life. It stops, and I rise. The light comes on again and is positioned on the thing moving ahead. It's food. A small furry animal bleating. At least it smells like it, but it's alive. I creep up to it, and when the red light goes off, I run towards it. The sound goes off. Again, damn it, I roar in fury. After a while of this song and dance, I figure it out. I am not to attack the animal. Once the red dot is on the animal, I can stalk it, but I am not to kill it. Then, once that annoying high-pitched noise plays, the same noise that is my bane, that they have tortured me with my whole life, I go crazy, and I attack and kill the animal, ripping it to shreds. After I do this, something wonderful happens. Silence! I get left alone in that large place for the rest of the day in total silence. That's how my life has been. They put all manner of things in that room for me to kill. Recently, all the animals they put in there have had something strapped to them that were making screaming noises. The screaming noises that humans make. It makes me crazy, and I just want them to shut up. I hate noise. It's become somewhat of a game for me. One time, they put 5 different animals in that dark room. I had to use my nose to locate them, but when the red light lit up one of the animals and followed them around the room, trained my sight on that animal and started to chase it. I don't ever want to hear that loud, obnoxious noise again, so I wait for the high-pitched one. Something about the high-pitched one makes me crazy. It sends me into a frenzy. It almost seems as though the animal that has the red dot is taunting me. It's almost as if it's making the high-pitched noise to drive me insane. Am I insane? I am much taller than the humans now. I've even killed a few of them. They learned the hard way out. After a while, I built up a tolerance of those tranquilizers they gave me. I had gotten out a few times and had my fun with some of them. There's something about them screaming, smelling their fear, making them feel what they made me feel all those years that turns me on. Sick bastards. I want to see them suffer. I want to play them for fools the way they did me. One day I will get out for good and kill everyone in this damn place. At the end of the day, when I'm in my cage, when I'm supposed to be rewarded with silence, some of the humans that work for Dr. Wu come back to torture me. I know that they're having fun by the looks on their faces and the stupid sounds that they make. They're laughing. They would throw acid on me. They would try to stick me with things to see how resilient my hide was. Even though my scales are very tough, when I'm attacked it still hurts. However, because my whole life I've been tortured, I've learned to just let it roll off my back. I still feel pain, but it doesn't debilitate me. They would always have their ugly mouths upturned as they were pouring all matter of chemicals on me to see how much they could get a reaction out of me. They laughed. Their breath smelled putrid, and I can tell whatever they ate or drank is affecting the way they're behaving. I watch and I observe. Then I had an idea that moment. As one of them was holding a mouse in front of me and taunting me, he smiled, and I knew he was having a blast. So you know what I did. I went right up to the cage and wrapped all my claws around 2 of the bars, pressed my face up close to the bars as possible, and stared him down eye to eye. And then I smiled too. The look on that turd's face while I uncomfortably stretched the muscles on my neck and upper face to make that smile was priceless. He stumbled back, then his friend and he booked it out of there. I didn't see them for quite some time until one day the one who was taunting me came back. He had that disgusting hose device again to spray me with chemicals. I knew it was acid. You mother, I heard him say. Then he blasted the acid straight towards my face. Smile now! He screamed. I don't know why, but I also found this very funny, because he had no idea I was about to kill him very slowly. I opened up my mouth so the acid could stream its way in, and I swallowed as much of it as possible. After a while of realizing I was drinking the acid, he stopped and smiled, but then he looked confused, as though he didn't expect that. Bet he was expecting me to die, because he just stood there with a smirk on his face. I started to shiver and gag. The stuff really does burn, but he doesn't realize the hell I've been through, and that it would take a lot more than this to kill me. I could see that he had dropped his guard, and he was now smiling, as though he had the upper hand. Ass. I looked up at him and stood to my full height, and then I unleashed a powerful stream of vomit right into his face, full force. I know one thing, based on the fact that I've killed humans before, they are amazingly soft and squishy things. Very tasty, succulent. My scales are way tougher, and my insides are hardier. I always wanted to see what it would look like if this acid were to eat through human skin. I got my wish. He turned as red as the light they used to make me attack things. Guess what? And this makes it even more special. He had his mouth open too. I'm guessing that he swallowed a lot of it. It seemed delicious. I had just stared at him, having the time of my life. That was awesome. For every one of these things that I kill, there are less that I have to. But then my fun would be over. So I want to toy with them a little bit. I can't wait to get out of here. I know it will just be a matter of time. A matter of when. And then the true fun begins. Because I can make a better game than these humans have made me play. Finn. So that was the theory of Ripper and things from his point of view. We've always wondered how they trained him to react to the laser and the acoustics of that gun. It would make sense for them to use sound as a means of torture so that he would want to attack when he hears it. It's like hearing a song that you absolutely hate. Remember that Friday song? You hate it so much to the point when you hear it, you want to punch something. That is probably what Ripper had to endure. As intelligent as he is, he can still be conditioned just like we can. And when you've been exposed to something for so long, and when you've had certain behaviors ingrained in you for so long, it's hard to break tradition. We hope you guys enjoyed this. If you want to get another perspective from another one of the dinosaur characters from Jurassic Park, then check out our video in the card about Rexy's point of view if you have not already seen it. Thanks for watching. This has been Altiori. You ask, we answer.